back. This is Paul Summerfield, CTO of Northcraft Analytics, and I'm joined here today by our Chief Marketing Officer, Lee Cullum, and we're going to talk to you about capacity management. Specifically, what we can do to help you overcome the challenges associated with both understanding the sheer magnitude of data that comes in, say, through network devices or to do with your storage, your compute, etc., whether that be on-prem or in the cloud. And it pains me to see many clients still utilizing spreadsheets to manage this data. The sheer scale of capacity management forecasting data, utilization data is immense. And to be able to ensure that that is a quality view when it's most of the time a highly manual process, error-prone and hugely time-consuming is really not the most effective way to do this in this day and age. So I want you to take a look at what we've got to offer. It's very dynamic. Allows you to sit with your C-level, your senior management in IT or the business, and actually run through scenarios on the fly, drill down into the data that's an hour old at any point. And really be able to add value to that conversation and make decisions based on that data. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Lee, and he'll demonstrate our capacity management solution.
And welcome back to the Northcraft Analytics YouTube channel. This is Lee Cullum. I'll be focusing on the capacity management discipline today. We're looking at a P95. In this case, it will be for bandwidth utilization, although you could apply this to CPU and memory as well, and some of our other capacity management products like Amazon EC2 and Azure. I'll go ahead and get right into it. Just first, kind of an overview as we delve into this SolarWinds content here. This is our CAN Singularity content for SolarWinds. We're going to be looking, as I said, at P95. Okay, and what is a P95? Well, it's like median, but it's for the 95th percentile. So what does that mean? Well, it's an average of averages. It smooths out data patterns that are bursty, if you will, so that, for example, as you're using bandwidth, you'll be transmitting a great deal of traffic during the day as a corporation, transmitting and receiving, but then on weekends, not very much at all. So P95 is really helpful in smoothing all of that out to see where you really are capacity-wise, okay? So it's a very popular measure, and typically the way people calculate this is in an Excel spreadsheet. And you would download months of packet data and months of packet data. I do January, and then I do February, and then March, and then they're each in different tabs in Excel, and then you calculate from there. You would also probably need to do a statistical sampling method so you don't pull in all of the data that we're about to show you. Okay. Another thing about this, which I think is interesting to point out, you're always seeing how fast Northcraft is, and we talk about crunching billions of records, and you see us maybe crunching millions or hundreds of thousands, but this is a situation where you really have 500 billion records. Okay, when you're looking at the total amount of packets inbound and outbound across all time, and let's say that's a 13-month period in SolarWinds. So that's what we'll be crunching today. So another just interesting facet of this demonstration is that our queries will not be executing as rapidly as you typically see them. So I thought you would like to see a situation where we could really hammer Northcraft and but show it to you in a way that's applied to a valuable use case. Okay, so here you can see kind of the end result, right? Over a long period of time, we have these certain sites that you may need to look at the core routers and switches for the WAN traffic and replace them, or this could support a refresh initiative essentially for your network equipment in justifying those business decisions. But you've got live data, and you don't have to constantly create these Excel spreadsheets. So you're saving a great deal of time in the creation of these types of reports. So let's take a look at Power BI Desktop, okay? And we're going to build this report, and I'm going to start from scratch, okay? And we'll kind of clear this out so you can see the metadata. Here for SolarWinds, these are things that are pre-calculated for you, which is one of the great things about Northcraft. And if you look at our very popular video on DIY versus BYOBI, in other words, do it yourself versus bring your own business intelligence visualization tool, then you'll see all of the time savings, not just in not creating these reports monthly, but in also having these pre-calculated measures and key performance indicators, multiple dimensions, which can point to tables in the database, different data sources, different tables and different data sources, time. Okay, the nice thing about multidimensional is that in a single report, you can combine live data from multiple data sources rather than having to do a client-side mashup or build tools that are specially built for that. So multidimensional is very powerful, very fast on large data sets, while still giving you the ability to drill into granular data. So we don't only look at it at the aggregate level as you do in most limited roll-up BI solutions. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to drop a table on here, and this won't be as pretty as the last report you saw, right? Because I just want to show you the data, kind of dig in. First thing we're going to start with is let's look at our total packets, okay? And again, this is across all time, so we'll look at inbound total packets, and we'll look at outbound, and you can see that's massive number there. Here you're going to want to use a hierarchy too, just to speed your crunching up. And so we're going to use region in this case. I'm just going to bring forth, let's see, region and site. Okay, you might want to reorder these so that it makes a little bit more sense. And you always want to format your tables, because I just can't stand these out-of-the-box styles. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult to read, and we have the Northcraft templates as well, which you can use, but you likely want to customize these reports for your own organization. Also, as you can see here, the font is very small, and that's not great for the demo or for you in your organization. So we're going to up the text size a little bit so this becomes a little bit more readable. And you can see just how much data we're collecting here. Almost gets a little overwhelming, but 527 million, and then we're billion and trillion, is that right? Okay, that's quite a few packets there, okay, that we're analyzing across the different regions. Now we are going to drop in the calculation, the money shot, if you will, that is really going to cause this this report to grind. So let me show you first 95th percentile interface bandwidth utilization inbound, and you can't see it, but there's a little spinner going, okay, in the top left hand corner. I'll pause this if it takes too long, but last time this took 3 minutes to execute. In my other report, I had it cached, so it does come back instantaneously. And in your dashboards in the report I just saw you, I showed you at the beginning, excuse me, as well, that's cached as well. So then you're only looking at the changes, right, in the data. So once you have it built and the report is built, the queries are cached, the reports are cached, so it executes extremely quickly. So this is only when you're analyzing data that you're going to see this kind of performance lag. Okay, but I also want to show you something real world. There are very few instances where you can actually, have a query not return data in Northcraft. But when you're calculating the average of averages across, I mean, geez, I think it's maybe even over trillions of packets, it really does grind, okay? And doing the 95th percentile calculation, this is the one case I have actually seen queries not execute. So what we will do on even larger data sets than this, and I think this is a 9,000 node system, somewhere in that, a 9,000 node SolarWinds database. And we're the interface here, which is, these are, children of the nodes. So, that's even a much larger number. So just to give you some context around this particular calculation. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a little bit because you probably don't want to sit here for 3 to 5 minutes and watch this grind. So we'll pause the recording for just a little bit and we'll be back to show you the result. So we're back. Nearly 6 minutes on that query, okay? And we've got inbound, okay? So I'm probably not going to do outbound at this point, but I think where you would want to take this next is add in the nodes and the interfaces. Ensure you have a filter for primary WAN. That would probably be meaningful. And then you would have a great deal of information at your disposal to help you with your data center refresh initiatives. We'll take a look at this and put together a part 2 at some point to look at how you would apply the P95 for your cloud capacity and for your on-premise data center capacity in terms of traditional servers as well, virtual and physical, honestly, and probably heavily focused on virtual. So I hope you found that useful. I did want you to see one thing that really took the Northcraft multidimensional architecture to task, but also saves you a great deal of time in reporting. And to be honest, my secret motive is always now with YouTube to get all of these videos above 10 minutes in length because it's a requirement for our partner status. But we thank you for joining and be sure as always to check out our solutions in the Microsoft App Store store. If you'd like a demonstration of this or any of our other solutions, contact us through the website and make it a great month.